Wait a minute.
What's up, everybody? Episode 4. I'm Ron.
I'm Janelle.
And you're listening to
So What?
It's
It's
just sex. Welcome to the 4th episode.
I know, that's crazy.
It is. And I think it's crazy because of all the attention that we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting some attention.
Like, we're going to put up a bonus episode, which will be our radio interview with Hank Hardister on The Grind, 1440 KVON.
Yeah, I was totally on the radio the other day, which is not something I ever thought in my life I'd ever want or be doing.
It was yesterday.
But yesterday we were on the radio. I mean, it's AM radio, but it's still the radio.
Yeah, and it's Hank's podcast because that goes out onto iTunes.
Right.
So it's called The Grind.
Yeah.
So if you go on iTunes and you look for The Grind, you'll get to hear it. And we're going to post a bonus, I'm using air quotes, episode that'll go along with this one so that you can just listen to our radio interview. Because I thought you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I was so worried about it. Like, not so worried, but a little worried that I wasn't going to sound good. It was really early in the morning. You know, you have the like morning voice. So I wasn't sure about that.
It was so early.
It was so early.
But we went to bed mad early because I've been sick.
Yeah, you've been sick. I was sick last week. You're sick this week.
It's
blah,
like a whole
blah,
thing.
Blah.
It's
but
weird because when you were sick last week, no one said blah, blah, blah.
You could have said blah, blah,
but
blah.
But I didn't because I'm an emotional, supportive person.
Okay.
But when I'm sick, you're like, okay, people, excuse me, Janelle, you mind if I let them know
Go ahead.
something? I don't need your 2 cents. I just want them to hear
I won't offer my 2
life.
cents. Got it.
So when Janelle was sick, she had all of these symptoms. She had like being lethargic. She had a sore throat. She was coughing. She felt terrible. I had all those same symptoms. She's like, just go to the gas station and get a Claritin and you'll be fine. Like, just stop being like whatever this is.
Excuse me, I was actually triaging you. I said it might be allergies.
I had
your
all
throat
the same
was hurting.
stuff as you have. You have zero sympathy for me at all.
Well, you're like, Janelle, I'm really sick.
I'm sick. I'm like at work. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like
get
crap.
it together, bro. It's gonna be okay. You're just sick.
Did I tell you get it together, bro, when you were sick? Or did I say, what do you need? Do I have to run out to the I actually went out to the store and she wanted some soda. So I go to the store and I get her soda. I felt like she was pregnant, but no, she's sick. So I go get her soda and then some surprise chocolates.
You did surprise me with chocolates. Kit Kats specifically.
What did you do for me?
I got you Theraflu.
You got me Theraflu on the way to our friend's place.
I said you could stay home if you wanted to.
No,
you
that's
didn't have to
okay.
come.
Everybody knows when they go, no, it's fine. Or you could stay home if you want to. That's a lie.
No, it's fine. It's usually not.
It's
fine.
usually not fine. I had no choice, and I had to power through it.
And you did, and I thank you.
No, yeah, but I'm
were my little partner.
Yeah, but you didn't treat your partner like he was sick. And I'm currently sick right now, and I'm going through this.
Okay, how long did we talk about how sick I was last week?
Well,
this is going on like at least over a minute about how sick you are. I literally just said, hey guys, my voice, I'm fucked. I'm sick. I'm not feeling good. Moving on. Now we're on 1 minute and 15 seconds about how Ron is sick.
But that is just because I'm trying to illustrate
This is why I get annoyed and I can't deal with it. I'm just like, no, get over it. You'll be fine in a few days.
I want you to be motherly to me.
I'm not a good mother. I'm not. I'm just not motherly enough for you.
No, I want you to put in a little bit more effort. Like, okay, perfect example.
Here
guys.
we go. We're still talking about how you're sick.
It's not about how sick I am. It's about how little you care.
How shitty I am. That's what it's about.
It is.
How you feel like shit, but I'm making you feel shittier.
So then last night we go to bed and we had like a couple glasses of wine and I'm not feeling well, but I'm like, I want a hand job. And she's like, I'm not giving you a hand job, just go sleep. And I'm like, you owe me.
You said you wanted a half-hearted hand job. And
well,
I'm like, that is the saddest request I think I've ever heard.
You put me in that situation. If you would have just given me what I asked for, it wouldn't have. Because I'm like, can I get a hand job? She's like, no, I'm going to sleep. I'm like, okay, can I get a half-hearted hand job? And literally, she treated me the same way she does when I'm sick. She's like, you are pathetic. Like, you would rather have a half-hearted hand job than like, I'm just not doing this right now. We're going to fuck tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm going to have tomorrow. I want that. But I also want to be jerked off right now. Because it started with I wanted you to suck my dick. And the more you drink, the less likely I'm going to be.
There's a scale involved, yeah. That's
So when we're on our second bottle.
I don't really know. Because sometimes when we're really drunk, I'm really... like down to get like super dirty, and I'm like, let me just slob your knob, just slap me in the face with it, fucking come all over the place, whatever, dirty me up.
Yes, but I could tell when you're going in that direction.
I'm like PMS right now, and I'm just like,
yeah, you're just not into it.
I'm just, I feel gross. I'm just like fucking tired. I feel like I'm about to just bleed everywhere. It's not going to be a fun time.
I feel like as you've gotten older, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to be that guy. Okay?
Are there more air quotes?
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. But it seems like your period's getting more severe as you get older.
In terms of bleeding or emotions?
In terms of you. Like,
what does that mean? Define that.
Because I feel like, and I don't know if it's because you're more like in touch with yourself and you're more like, this is me and this is who I am. But like back in the day, you would get your period and you would be like a little irritated, but you'd be good. But now you're just like, ID gaff everything.
I was holding that shit in the whole time. I was like, I can't be too bitchy to him because then he'll be mad at me. And, I can't bleed too much because then we can't fuck. And then,
you were holding in your blood?
I was like trying like my hardest to like hold in everything.
Like blood? I didn't even know you can control the flow.
I mean, we can. I'm just using that as a kind of example. But
got it.
It might not be physically possible, actually. But I have an IUD, so I don't bleed as much as I did when I didn't have an IUD. I have a very light period. Regardless of that, I tried hard back in the day to not put my PMS on you. You're welcome.
Okay, so what changed? Now you don't care anymore?
Now I just don't give a fuck.
Like is it something that I can change?
Dude, I'm bleeding from my vagina. Like, seriously, if you fucking bled from the tip of your dick, you would be miserable. You have a sore throat right now, and you're fucking miserable. Imagine blood pouring out of the tip of your dick.
I would just drink cranberry juice.
What is the cranberry juice going to do?
Because it would mean I have a UTI if there was blood dripping out of the tip of my dick.
You might have a more serious problem than a UTI if your blood is pouring out of the tip of your dick. But I'm saying, like, have some sympathy. Have some sympathy. Your blood pouring out of your fucking holes. And you're just emotionally destroyed. You're pissed off. You feel fat. You feel bloated. You are bloated. You hate everybody. You hate yourself. That's what we go through every 3 to 4 weeks a month.
So you hate me?
How is this about you right now?
Because you said we hate everything, and I'm just wondering.
Yeah, kinda. I guess if you put it into those terms,
so
sure.
Real talk.
Real talk. Yeah,
real
I do.
talk,
I hate you right now.
hate you.
Yeah, because I'm about to get my period, so I hate you.
So I mean, look.
And you're sick, so I hate you even more.
I understand that your body is this beautiful temple that can give birth, which men can never do. It's strong, it's powerful, it's 2019. It's you as well. I'm just saying.
What are you trying to suck up to me for?
No, I'm not trying to. Well, because I want
you want me to suck
tonight.
up on your dick tonight?
Yeah, because like I'm not going to see you for a whole week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be very horny. So I'm trying to make sure that I get some.
I know.
But my point is, I'm sorry that you go through that.
Oh, thank you.
And I just wish that you would understand that I didn't do it to you. You know what I mean?
No, you didn't do it to me.
No.
It's not about you doing something to me. It's more about you having sympathy for what I'm going through.
I have sympathy. I would like to know. I would like to know what it would be like if I just started being like a total dick to you randomly for no reason, and then wanted chocolate.
Excuse me. That's really insensitive of you. There's a reason. There's a fucking biological reason for me being an asshole to you for a little bit of time every month.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And for the record, in case you were keeping score, I would much rather you be an asshole to me 3 weeks out of the month than for you not to be in my life. So I apologize if I'm not more sensitive.
That's so sweet of you, honey.
I'm just saying, I apologize if I'm not
you.
more sensitive.
I appreciate that. Thank
But
you.
in the end, it does come down to whether you are being motherly to me when I'm sick or giving me a hand job when I ask for it. Yeah,
I gotcha.
It's just in the end, it's just really about what I want.
Yeah, it's really just about what you want.
Yeah.
You're sick. You want me to like pet your head and rub your back and feed you fucking chicken soup or something?
That would be so nice. I'm thinking about it right now. That would be exquisite.
For all the people listening, I cater to this man. I cook for him. I do everything for him that I possibly can.
And
so
for the
don't
record, that's
let
true.
Him fool you into thinking that there is some neglect happening, because there is no neglect happening.
But let me ask you a question, and this will be the end of this conversation because I feel like
can we really end this conversation?
I feel like we've beaten a bloody tampon to a pulp. But is it true that when you were sick on the couch, I asked you what you wanted more than anything? You said soda, and then not only did I leave the house and get you soda, but I also got you some chocolate.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that a yes or no?
That's a yes. I said yes, that's true.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
When we were leaving to go do something you wanted to do, you said, "Oh, pull over here and let me get you some medicine." Like you didn't go out of your. I'm trying to point out that I'm a better partner than you are.
I think we should move on. We're digressing. We're about to have an argument on a podcast. Let's just not do that. That's not what people want to hear.
I love the smile on your face, because the smile on your face is so surfacey, and you're like, this motherfucker calling me out in front of the 10,000 listeners that we have.
We'll put a pin in this, and we'll talk about this later.
I just want you to know that I already know what the comments are going to be. I know I'm wrong. I'm literally just like for every conversation, there needs to be two sides. I know you do everything for me, more than any trip to the store to get you like Diet Coke and chocolate will ever be. But I'm just trying to give you shit on the air so that I can be the other side.
You're razzing me right now, but the real story is I said, let's go get you medicine, and you say, no, I'm fine. And then I was like, no, you're going to be a dick for the rest of the day unless we get you medicine. So let's go get you medicine.
I don't remember
and
it
you're
that
like,
way.
No. And I'm like, fucking pull the fuck over. We're going to fucking Chevron to get you a packet of some shit to make you feel better. So I was the one, and then Chevron doesn't even sell Theraflu. And then we had to go into fucking gross Walmart to get Theraflu because that's the closest place to where we live. So fuck you. I had to go into Walmart to get your ass Theraflu.
No, you're right.
I'm the reason why you feel slightly better today.
I feel a lot better today.
I know you do.
Thanks to you.
You're welcome.
So moving along.
Moving the fuck on.
So now that we've addressed that, so we are in Rancho Cordova.
Yeah.
You're starting your new job.
I know. I'm so
You're
excited.
very excited. So, and then we get here. We're like, let's go get something to eat. So we have sushi. But then what did we find?
Sushi in Rancho Cordova.
Yeah.
If anyone knows where Rancho Cordova is, it's nowhere near an ocean. So I don't know where they found the sushi from. Hopefully it's imported from like SoCal or something. But it was actually pretty good. And I don't feel like I'm going to die yet or sick yet. So it was actually a cool spot.
Yeah, it was decent.
It was okay.
It was, and like if
I had the
you were
edamame.
nowhere,
It was really good.
the edamame was bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But then we go next door, and they have a casino.
Yeah. This is a random casino in the middle of Rancho Cordova.
So we're like, let's check it out, have a drink.
A drink.
And then they have blackjack,
Mm-hmm.
a game that we both know how to play.
Mm-hmm.
So we take out $40,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happens?
Dudes, we won like $225 on our $40.
And one glass of wine.
And one glass of wine, which I did have a glass of wine at the sushi restaurant, so I am very heavily buzzed right now. But I'm the type of person that's like, fuck it, let's spend all our fucking money. Like, we had $20 each. That is not a lot, but it was a $5 minimum, which is really cool.
Right.
That's like reasonable. Like, I feel like most people can afford that if you're like a working American, whatever.
Yeah.
So we did that, $20 each. We put it down. We started making some money, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're fucking high rollers right now. We're up to $80."
Like we won our first hand, in which we won $5 each, and we're like, woohoo, high five.
We're chest bumping in the middle of the fucking casino.
It took every ounce of my being to not stand on the chair and tell the dealer to suck my dick. And
After
that was
winning $20.
Yeah.
So we did that. We went there. We won. At the end of it all, Ron's very conservative. I am the opposite of that, which is really weird because in life, it's the reverse. It's the reverse of that.
But when we're gambling,
when we're gambling and we're drinking, Ron's like, okay, I'm going to tuck this away. I'm going to put our chips over here. The money that we've got, we're going to put it over here.
Because once we won, let's say $80 each.
Yeah.
I took the $20 that we both put in. I put it on the side. So that left us with $60 each. And we then get to a point where now I tucked away $60. So now it's a total that's $100.
Yeah.
The 40 we got plus the 60. Then I add another 40 on top of that. So now we're at 140. And then we still had like $40 of chips each.
Yeah, we were raking it in.
And that was one glass of wine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had some other wine.
No, right, but I'm just saying, but like we had one glass of wine.
Oh, you mean the timing of it all.
Timing
yeah,
of
it took like 30 minutes to win. I mean, I don't know, $150 or whatever. If we're just like making it easy.
That's
math.
what we took with us.
It was
That's
like
what we left with.
$150 in less than an hour, and I'm like, damn, this is easy fucking money. Like, I would do something to make easy money like that. Like, if I could just go suck like 3 cocks and make $150 an hour, I think I might be down. Well, depending on how they look.
Oh, so you would have to see the cocks ahead of time?
Yeah, I couldn't. If
now,
they
let me ask you a question.
Bad, I wouldn't be able to
But what
do
if
that.
the cocks were beautiful?
Perfect.
But the person was super ugly, like missing
Do I have
teeth?
to see the face?
Yeah, this isn't a glory hole.
Oh, okay. No, I couldn't do it if the face is not. If they're missing teeth and things
So
like that,
basically,
I
what
wouldn't be
you're
able to
saying
see
is that you would be okay with getting paid to suck a dick you'd suck for free.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, like if you saw a guy who's attractive and he had a dick you'd want to suck, you'd suck it for free.
True.
So why would he have to pay you $100?
I should be charging. This is what I'm saying.
Man, what I wouldn't give. Because the thing is, it's so fucked up because I actually think
I'm
a guy
good
would.
at it.
I know, but I think a guy would pay you to have to like suck his dick, and I think he'd pay you $100.
How do you approach this conversation?
No, but
like,
hold
hey,
on.
buddy, guess what?
But me, I feel like I would have to give a girl like $1,000 to let me look at her vagina. Like that's so fucking
Well, that's
twisted.
what strip clubs do. You can look at vaginas, but you just have to pay the money to see
but-
the vagina.
Yeah, but we went to that strip club in San Francisco, and it was $250 a person to have this girl dance for us.
Yeah, and she looked like a 13-year-old boy.
$250. That's $500 for a couple. I'm like, I can just watch porn on the internet and have
you
the
mean
same
you don't
result.
Want her to like? I mean, she's rubbing on your body. It's a little bit different than a porn.
No, it's not. It's not different because I can pretend that it's someone rubbing on my dick when I'm watching.
They
a porn.
smell like flowers, though.
I didn't
Strippers
smell
like
her.
flowers.
But that stripper was weird because she was like, "How are you guys doing? What do you guys?" And then she was talking to me, and I wanted to be like,
because you're the sucker. You're the sucker with the dick, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll pay you, bitch."
But that's not what happened. Is that what happened? Is that what happened? No. I was all like, "Excuse me, but I'm trying to watch someone dance right now," and you were like ignoring. And I wanted to be like,
I was like, "Don't make eye contact."
I was
She's
like, "You're
selling
barking
you
up
right
the
now.
wrong tree."
She's trying to. This is a sales pitch, and I'm not saying anything about strippers. I'm not trying to degrade
she was
strippers.
sexist,
but
though.
she was trying to go at the man and the fucking couple, even though, like, dude, how do you know who has the money?
Yeah,
who has
if
the
she
fucking
would have
cash
went, if she would have went for you,
she didn't come
and
over to me.
If she would have
placated,
placated your ego, and
Yeah.
if she would have
She might have won.
she would have wound up with $500
She
that
might
night.
have, if she was
so
sexy
she
enough.
was sexist,
She
and
was
she
a
was
little
living
bit.
she was living in 1999. If she was a 2009, she should have went to you. Like you were the one. Like she didn't realize that you're the person making all the calls.
That's
you're the
true.
shot caller, the baller.
the ball dropper. What is
Yeah,
it called?
I'm-
Shot caller.
No, I'm the baller, shot caller, brawler, who be dipping in the Benz with the spoilers.
Yeah, that's
on the
it.
low with the Jake and the Taurus.
How do you
What
know
you
this
gonna
song?
do? Because
You-
it was
you said
Foo
you
Fighters
hate-
and P
You
Diddy.
You said you hated East Coast rap.
No, but
though.
it's Foo Fighters and P Diddy.
We've made a right turn. You said you hate East Coast rap.
No, I said.
And now you know
that
all the
Tupac-
words.
No, but that was at a time where East Coast and West Coast rap like had squashed all its beef because Biggie and Tupac had died, and
in the Benz with the
and then P. Diddy rose from the ashes as the phoenix.
He's great. He's a very smart man.
He was. He killed both his competitions and then and then went on their thing. I hope we don't get taken out because of what I just said.
Please don't.
They're like, he knows.
I don't want to die. I don't want a mafia hit on my head at all.
It wouldn't be mafia though.
I had this dream last night. Let me just tell everyone about this.
Tell
I don't know
who
dream. Gives a fuck about this.
And in
story.
case anybody's wondering, Janelle's wearing this like beautiful, fucking sexy nightgown with no bra, and she's like bouncing her titties together. So
I am.
It's very sexy. But let you tell the story. I just want to let everybody know what I'm looking at.
I had this dream about this guy who I used to go to school with, and
elementary school, right?
Elementary school,
which is random.
I'm not gonna say his name,
no,
but he had a very Italian name. And I went to school with him, and one of the days in my youth, I always sat next to him because our names were very similar with the first letter, my maiden name. So I always sat next to him in the class because it was alphabetical order. And I was getting bullied by somebody for some reason. I can't remember why, but he was like, "Oh, like, do you need me to take care of this?" He was like 8 to 10, I don't know, maybe like 10, 11 years old. Maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah, but he knew what his life was going to be like.
He was so fucking sexy, and he was like,
At 10?
At 10. He was so cute, like super Italian, like little Guido boy, super cute. And he was like, "I'll take care of this if you need me to." And I was like, "What?" Like, I don't even know. I don't know what my responses was at
He's
10
gonna make
or
him
11
sleep
years
with
old.
the fishes.
Yeah, like I'm gonna put cement shoes on him or something.
Yeah.
Like my brother knows John Gotti, and I was like, "What is that?"
So this 8-year-old's
mean?
trying to woo you by like putting a hit on another kid.
Yes, another kid. And I'm like, I don't know.
Did that kid ever go missing?
I don't even know. I have no idea. But I dreamt of this guy last night that I professed my love to him, which I don't even know where how is that in my subconscious? This one man that I went to school with 35 years ago. And I Googled him today. And he has like a criminal record, and he like
obviously. I mean, he's trying to kill people at 8.
He ran people over like on the street in New York, and it's all bad. And then I texted my mom because I was like, "Guess what? So and so. Guess what happened?" And she's like, "Well, good thing you didn't wind up with him." And I'm just like, I would have never wound up with him.
Because at 8 years old, you'd be with the person for the rest of your life.
I was like, I'm chubby and I'm Italian, but I have freckles because I have a little bit of Irish in me. And he would have never went for me. He wanted the pure Italian, like super black hair, pure white skin, because that's what it was back then. It just was that way. But point is, I went to school with a criminal. He probably murdered someone.
You went to school with a lot of criminals.
A lot of criminals. That's true.
Your elementary school definitely went to school with a lot of criminals. Mm-hmm. Your high school, definitely a lot of drug dealers.
Look at me now. I'm like in Rancho Cordova winning $200 at the casino up the street.
Life goals.
Yeah.
Hashtag life goals. So why do you think that you subconsciously dreamt about this dude from elementary school?
I can't think. I really tried hard to think of this, and I really have no idea. Like, I don't know. Like, I've thought about him through the years because he was a little different. Like, he had red hair, and he was Italian, but he had red hair. And so he stood out a little bit, and he was always like super sweet, and he had like hella swag. Like, I'm all
but when you picture
swag.
him, are you picturing a 10-year-old?
Yes.
So
I don't even know what he looks like. And then today I started I tried to Google images. I even went to the NYPD mugshot website to see if
you were stalking hardcore.
I was just trying to find a picture of what he looks like now, but I couldn't find anything. So if anyone has any suggestions on how to, without paying for it, I'm not paying to stalk.
Yeah, but you don't know if that'll actually bear any fruit.
I want to see a picture of what this guy looks like 35 years later.
Yeah. I'll help you find it. I didn't know you were looking for someone.
It's not 35, 25 years later.
I find people all the time on the internet.
I'm going to give you his name
Speaking
after
of
this
that,
is over.
Do you remember the time that we met up with this guy and he gets all the way over here, and it was a really interesting cat because he shares his location with his mom so that way she always knows where he is.
Yes.
And he was like, "I'm just going to go meet with friends." So he comes over here. He shared his location with her, but he gets here and we're like, "Oh, blah, 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 nice to meet you." And he goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "How'd this go? How'd that go?" And we're like, "How do you know those things?" He's like, "Oh, I totally Googled you guys before I came out to meet you."
No, it's worse than that.
I mean, he knew specifics. I know.
No, I said, because we have pseudonyms. We have like avatars, pseudonyms. What's the right way to say that?
Gamer tags?
We have gamer
We
tags.
have dating gamer
We
tags.
have dating gamer tags.
I'm Robbie and you're Frankie.
Yeah,
So,
so
we're Robbie and Frankie.
So when we met him, I was like, oh, this is what my real name is. And he was like, I already know what your real name is. And I was like, what?
But you know how we did that though, right? This is what I was trying to explain to you that day. So when I used to like talk to girls on like, what's that? Something Cupid? What's that thing?
Okay, Cupid.
Okay, Cupid, or on Tinder. If I got to their real phone number, I would just put their phone number into Facebook, and then it would give me all their info, so I could see if this person was crazy or not.
We're living in a crazy time.
It is a crazy time.
I was freaked the fuck out. He knew everything. He Googled us, and we had done an article. I did an article with my children, with my son, my younger son, at the LGBTQ connection in Napa. He read that article. He knew my last name. He knew that we lived in Arizona.
Oh yeah, he knew everything
about us.
I mean, and the guy is in.
He's in tech.
He's in tech, so he knows
kind of
that
understood like how to search,
which
probably not everyone does.
I'm pretty sure like most people know that, at least know the Facebook.
I can't even Google a man from 25 years ago. I don't know how the fuck to find him.
I told you I can find him. You just didn't give me a chance to find him.
I'm saying not everyone knows how to do that.
I know, but it's an interesting time that we live in. And then there's that show that's on Netflix called You.
Yeah.
Remember with that guy, and he like found everything about this girl,
and he pretended to be a certain character so that he would appeal to her, so that he could fuck her eventually and then kill her.
Yeah.
Sorry to. That was a spoiler.
You just ruined a show for people.
I spoiled it for everybody.
No one's gonna listen to this show now. Because you're just filled with. I'm sorry, everybody. I can't take her anywhere. We've been drinking for quite some time.
Yeah, we have.
So
we're drunk.
With this dream that you have, and now that we're talking about this guy that we met up with who happened to like Google us, it brings us to our topic for the evening, and that is into the swing of things. Which, and I say that because I know that you hate that terminology, swingers, because it has like this negative connotation, and I think that HBO Real Sex has a lot to do with that negative thing, because you just see a bunch of like 7-year-old like with like really saggy bits, like balls to the knees and all that stuff, and that's not really what we do, right? You wouldn't classify us as swingers, right?
No, I don't want to be put in a box like that. And I don't know that it's a negative connotation, but it's like we've watched a couple documentaries about swingers, and they always seem to be a little bit out there and a little quirky. And there's maybe a commune that people live on where they're all just fucking each other. And like, I don't fit into that. I wouldn't live like that. I'm not judging people who do. That's not how I'm living my life. So I kind of want to just talk about what the differences are there, because I don't fit into that.
Right.
So am I making sense right now?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people because when we were on the radio, and you said, we're really getting into the swing of things right now. And then Hank's like, you saying swing is really funny.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't see myself as a swinger. Like, I don't identify as a swinger. I identify more like as a married woman whose husband is super cool with me going and having a good time with people that I might want to have a good time with. And when I meet people, it's like, what are you looking for? I don't know about your experience. I just have experiences with men thus far. And it's more like every profile that I have out there, it's the both of us. It's not just me singular. So they always ask, like, who's that in your photo? That's my husband. Okay, well, what do you want? I just want like a friends with benefits. I just want to go have a good time.
And those are guys, right?
Those are guys.
Because I
had a girl do that, but
did.
she like kind of flaked, but I kind of flaked on her too. But it's possible.
But here's the thing,
you have
though.
to be upfront about what you want.
I had the same profile to a T. Every word that she used is the same word that I used, and it was crickets. I spent we use this app. It's called I'm not gonna say the name of it till they sponsor us, but we use this app, and we have the same fucking profile. And I went 3 months with one hit. She's at Janelle gets like 30 to 60 hits a day through
30
that.
to 60 hits. At least 15 of them have dick pics included. Their opening, like guys' opening line is a dick pic. It's like I don't want to see your dick with a hello.
You're also on Tinder, and if you travel like you do,
Oh,
your
I
Tinder
have a million
is like
fucking, not a million, but like over 7,000 swipes or whatever the hell it's called.
I was on Tinder for 6 months at $30 a month, and I got nobody. And I had the same profile that.
So what do you
did.
think the differences are? This is a good conversation because why?
Because I'm
are
a guy.
guys so? No, I know
because
you're
I'm
a
a
guy.
guy. No, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm a guy. Girls have.
But girls want to fuck just
no,
like
but
guys
they do.
wanna fuck.
But here's the thing. So if you're a girl like you, right? Because I've been there. I know you're 100% woman. You have 1,000 dicks being thrown at you. When my dick comes your way, you're like, meh, like it's not bad, but I have all these other choices. Like I picked I remember I showed you this, and I don't want to say this because I don't want people to think that I am superficial. I am not. Janelle will tell you that I am not superficial, but I picked someone who I think would probably not be getting a lot of swipes on Tinder, and that person,
like an average-looking woman.
no, below average, like a 2.
Yeah.
Like I picked a 2 to show you. I'm like, look, I'm gonna swipe on this person who looks as though she just did like a kilo of coke and 2 shots of heroin.
2 shots of heroin.
And she did not respond to my swipe.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when you're on the guy's perspective, you're just sending out all of this stuff. Like you have to really be like, for guys to hook up with girls. I'm not saying girls are superficial. I'm just saying that they definitely have their choice. If they have 10, and we talk about this, you and I personally, if I met you at a bar today, I'm not the guy that you would go home with.
I can't speak to that because I really don't know if that's true. Because you make me laugh.
Yeah, but there's not enough time in a Tinder profile or a sex app profile to make you laugh. There's not enough time at a bar. If I walk up to you and I say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Your thing is going to be like, all he wants to do is fuck me. I'm not in the mood right now. I can have dick if I want it.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to talk to girls. And I have friends that are single men who I think are the nicest guys. In fact, one of them listens to this show. We won't say his name, but he was just in a chat with us talking. You know, he's a single dad. He's trying to do all this stuff. The guy is the sweetest thing on the planet. But if he goes up to a girl at a bar and says hello to her, she's going to dismiss him because she's going to think that all he wants is her pussy, which is fine that's all he wants.
We could parlay this into a different conversation because I have a single sister. And we have conversations all the time because she's on Tinder, she's on Bumble, she's on Hinge, whatever, all those things that are out there. And she'll meet a guy. They'll conversate for a little bit. She'll find him attractive. They'll plan a date, and then they meet each other. And then, depending on how the night goes, she's going to be attracted to him or not. So if they go home together, she's like, okay, well, I fucked him. And then she feels really bad about herself the next day. She's like, and then like 3 days later, he hasn't texted, and she's feeling like a piece of trash. And it's like, okay, well, one of the times, I'll just say this. I'm pretty sure she's not listening. So I just don't care. It's fine. Nobody knows her name or anything. But she specifically, one of the times, she said it was like one of the best sexual experiences she ever had. And she was like, his dick was good. My pussy was wet. It was the wettest it's ever been. Like, of all the partners that she's had, she had the best time. But then because he didn't text her back, she felt used. And it was like, I said to her, like, why do you feel used? You had a good time. You enjoyed yourself. You had a pleasurable experience. Like,
and it's not to put a pun on it, but it's tit for tat. She also used him. It's like she didn't like when you're putting yourself in that situation.
But why is it always like girls are looking for a relationship or to find a husband, and guys are just looking for a fuck? Like, why can't girls just look for a fuck?
Hey, I agree with you. You're preaching the converted, sister.
I'm saying the girls out there in the world should feel that. Like, if I just want to go catch a dick one night, I should be able to go catch a dick one night and not feel like a slut, not feel like a hoe, not feel like I got used, like I used you.
Right. Or it was just a mutual fuck. Nobody used anybody. They got exactly what they wanted. Yep. I was talking to this girl, And she thought that I was attractive, and she would say these like things to me. We really didn't get into a conversation like in a sexual nature or anything like that. But then she's like, "Oh, I can't hook up with you because you're married." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're unavailable because you're in your own thing. This is just for fun." And she's like, "Well, yeah, but you're married." And I'm just like, "But if you're not looking for a relationship, I'm obviously not looking for a relationship. I have the best relationship on the planet. What's the deal?" The deal is that in the end, and I say this in my bits, guys I feel are pigs and women have standards.
I don't think it's women have standards. I think that women have like these societal rules or expectations, or just like how people expect a female to behave. And even though we say to ourselves, fuck that, we're not going to deal with that, we're not doing that, I'm not that person, we still have that in the back of our minds, and we have like an internal judgment of ourselves. Like, I can't do that because someone out there will think I'm a hoe. But that's ridiculous. Like, so ridiculous. Like, if I want to go fuck someone because I think they have a nice dick because I get dick pics all the time, I'm going to try that out. And it probably won't make me come because, like, 9 times out of 10, it does not. But if I want to go have a one-night stand, like, let me go have a one-night stand, and I'll make the decision whether I'm going to be upset because I really like this person or if I was just using them to catch a dick that night. Like, I can do that just like guys can do that.
I know. And it's like when we weren't together, I told you about this. I was like, I met this girl, and I was like, I don't want a relationship. I'm just looking to have fun and to branch out because I've been in a marriage for 19
for 20
years.
years or whatever. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want a relationship. And she's like, yeah, that's totally fine. On Monday.
So you were upfront with her.
I was 100%
beginning.
upfront. I said, I don't want a
Which
relationship.
is rare. Not a lot of guys do that.
No,
actually.
because we met on Tinder or something, and I was like, hey, just let you know, I've just got a relationship, and
like,
I'm just
here's the deal.
I'm spreading my wings, right? So we hang out. So that was Monday. So Wednesday we hang out. I'm using this as just generalization, just to give you a timeline. On Wednesday we hang out. So then she's like going down on me, and she's like, and I'm like, whoa, and then like she's like about to pull my dick out and start sucking it. I'm like, hold on.
Wait, you said she was going down on you, but then she pulled your dick
No,
out?
I was like that's what she was about to do.
Oh,
She gets on her knees.
Gotcha.
She's about to pull my dick, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, this is our first date. I was like, I'm like just trying. I'm just getting used to even being like touched by another person.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Which probably made me out to be a little bit of a
but
wimp.
that's okay.
But hold on.
That's okay too. Like,
but hold on. So I said, let's just. It was a good night. I'll see you on another day. So then,
like, let's slow it down a little bit.
So then the next day, she's texting me, oh, I need it. And I'm like, okay. I was like, just let you know. It's like, I want to make sure that we're clear. Like, I don't want it. She's like, nope, just this. So the next day we hook up, and she, gets a little further. And then she's like, oh, let's go over here and do this thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to fuck you right now. Like, just, so that's like Thursday. So then something Friday, she's like, oh, let's hang out. And I'm like, okay, I'm free. Let's go hang out. So then by like the next Tuesday, and we had sex by this point, by the next Tuesday, she's like, oh, I want you to come meet my kid. And I'm like, I don't want to meet your kid. And then it starts to go downhill really fast. What's your problem? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, what did I do? Mm-hmm. And then suddenly, like, by the next Thursday, so we're talking like a week span, by the next Thursday, I'm getting texts, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, you're such an asshole. Like, dude.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like, I'm just like,
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
So I'm just saying
Especially
that it's different.
if you're being honest with the fact that you were upfront with her, like, I don't know how to speak to that because I'm just not.
Yeah,
that
and
person.
then I had another situation with another person that I hooked up with, and it started the same way. That person's like, I don't want a relationship. I'm this person in my life, and I don't want to do this stuff. I'm like, cool.
Oh yeah, she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want a relationship either.
I know that person.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want a relationship either. So everything was all great, and then all of a sudden one day, I was like, we were like hanging out, and maybe this was my fault, and I apologize. And
it probably was. It always.
Yeah,
is.
and maybe I'm a dick, but we were like hanging out in my room, and I'm like flipping because I got a Tinder message or whatever. So I went on, and I'm like going on Tinder, and I was like, oh, look at this person who just hit me up, and she's like, why are you on Tinder? And I'm like, because I'm looking for people to have fun with. Like, what happened? And it was like a whole thing, and I was like this big piece of shit, and I'm like, wow. And then the thing is, which is really crazy, because this person I don't know is like giving me shit for being on Tinder.
You barely know them.
Well,
you know them a little bit, but you don't know them really.
Really don't know them
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I only know what they show me because
Right.
that's what they want me to see.
Right.
We're talking like
Very surfacey things.
very surfacey thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but then I can go tell my wife, who we were still married at the time, being like, look at who's not hitting me up on Tinder. And
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, let me show you mine. And it's like 9 million people. So I know I lost the breakup. You know what I mean? Like if there was a win the breakup and lose the breakup, you definitely won the breakup and I lost it really bad.
Oh my goodness.
But it's like how is it that you just can't be honest with people? But the difference is you can be with a guy and then you'll show him who's hitting you up on Tinder, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Come over here and let's continue fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I show a girl, look who hit me on Tinder. You're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what about me? And it's like, what did I do?
I think it's because we get attached. As females, we're designed that way to get attached. I think, I don't know about every single female. I'm never going to say 100% of the time, but a majority of the time, once you've been intimate with somebody, your brain is wired to get attached to that person. And it's like, whether you want kids or not, you're like, this is the guy who's going to make babies with me.
So this is a really good point. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing point, because do you think that is why when you and I branch off and do our own stuff, we can do it without strings? Like you're saying that some women might feel attached after sex, right? But because of the fact that you know that you have someone at home who fulfills 98% of the things that you need, you're the unicorn. I feel like you're like, I know that they say unicorn for like the third girl in a couple.
Yeah.
But it really is this girl who you can like get with and like she's not going to get attached. So do you think that it's because of what you have? Like if I wasn't around, would you fall into that category of that person who was like needy and wanty? And I mean, it's hard to say because I'm here, but
no. And here's why: because I did have experiences when we were apart. One person in particular, I really enjoyed their company. I really enjoyed their penis. It was fantastic. I really liked having him around for like the little moments that there was. I'm not even saying there was not even a relationship that happened, but I fucked him a couple of times. And I had a great time. And I sent him like a boob pic. Like we were like messaging each other. It was cool. Like he was super hot, whatever. We're hot for each other. And then I sent him like a tit pic, and which I didn't even have nipples included in the picture. And then he never texted me back. Like, so several days later, I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm sorry if the tit pic was too much. Because he was like very like, I'm so socially aware, and I anyone that wears a NASA shirt should be like shot, because it's like a Target T-shirt, and he's like very like against the mainstream. So maybe me sending a tit pic was like too much or over the top for him. And again, there was no nipples even included, which is really, really weird to me. But whatever. I moved on, and I just texted him like, if you ever want to hang out again, it's cool. But if not, it's cool too. And I am who I am. So if I'm going to be who I am to you, if you don't accept that, then you're not the person that I even want to be around. I don't need a relationship. I never expected that from anybody when we were apart. Never expected that from anyone. I just wanted to fuck people. That was it.
And me too.
And that was like where I started. Like, I just want to fuck you. That's all that I need right now. I have my own apartment. I have my own job.
But he didn't text you
I
like
have
a
my
million
own kids.
times,
No,
calling you an asshole.
No,
and a piece of
no,
shit.
he did not. He never texted me again. Actually,
but
that's called ghosting, by the way. Yeah.
But I did get those texts, and I was like, and then
I would never do that, especially if a man was like, "Here's the situation. I'm still married," because you were still married.
I was.
And you're like, I'm going through a situation. I have to applaud you actually for being honest, because not a lot of guys are. And some of the time, these people are on these apps and they're married, and they're not even telling the people that they're swiping on that they're married, and they're just cheating on their spouses.
No, I used to work with women at this time, and they would be like, are you sure you told them? And I would show them my text messages from day one, and they would be like,
to get like feedback on it?
Yeah, to be like, look,
like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, like, I just want to make sure that you understand that, like, because there's no way that I was in the mindset to go meet somebody. I like, literally, it was just about, hey, I know that there was a lot of things that I had going on. Like, you know, I was like really overweight, like it was really bad. And I was just trying to get a gauge on my life and just like all these things. And I was just trying to find myself. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, what the hell is happening? Like every single person that I talked to.
Did you say one of them was like, come build furniture with me? And you're like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you go build furniture with somebody you just fucked one time?
That was the person who got mad because I was on Tinder.
That's not necessary.
I know. Like it was like, hey, come build furniture with me.
I would never have the audacity to be like, I'm going to fuck you on Friday, but definitely you're building furniture with me on a Saturday.
But then in the text was like, oh, but my kids are here, so make sure you don't get all. And I'm like,
That's
I'm not
disgusting.
going to hang out with your kids.
And actually, as a female, I wouldn't want some guy to fucking meet my kids after fucking them one time. Like, that's not my boyfriend. This is not someone that's guaranteed to be around. I'm not going to introduce you to my children.
I was like, I'm not going to do this.
Ever met my children. In fact, I would make sure that my children were far away from the house. If I hardly ever brought anyone home, I made sure that I kept it out of the house. But if I was going to bring someone home, I would make sure they were not at home.
No, I totally understand. And I think that this falls into the differences between guys dating and girls dating in today's day and age. And I know it's weird because I think that us being married is kind of like the bar. Because if you're single, it's one thing. But you're so successful at meeting people, just yourself. And I am like not at all. In fact, the last time that I actually met a girl and I actually got a girl to come out on a date with us and hook up with us, I could not stick my dick in her.
Which one was that?
This is the last one we had, the last threesome we had. She was super nice. She's
yes.
we can't say names,
No,
but
we're
I'm
not
just
saying
saying.
names.
But it was a great
Well,
experience.
there was like 3 people there, and no one could stick their dick in her at all. So
yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the girl, not the couple that we hooked up with.
I know who you're talking about.
Just the girl, and I could not
understand.
stick my dick in her.
I gotcha.
First, it was like, oh, do you have a condom? And I was like, oh, shit, it's not in your bag. And then you're like, oh, I think I forgot. And then I finally found one. The girl's like, oh, is it okay if we don't have, if you don't stick your dick in me tonight? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And we could have hooked up with her again, but like times didn't work out. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it's so much harder.
It is a little harder.
It's a little harder. It is impossible.
It's not.
It is impossible.
Don't say impossible. That's the grossest word ever. Nothing is impossible.
Okay, well, it takes a lot.
It's not impossible though.
Okay, you're right. It's not impossible because we've had those situations.
Exactly.
It's not impossible.
That's a terrible word.
But let me ask you a question: if you had $1 million and you could bet that you would like if I said to you, I bet you
catch a dick right now. I could go on Tinder right now and catch a dick. I don't know what they're gonna look like. I don't know the size of it, but I know that I could find one like within the next 10 minutes.
And it would take me 10 months.
10 months. You got to play the long game. I'm sorry.
Like we just met. We just started talking with this one person on Kick yesterday. And within a span of 3 hours, she's like, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I can't do this. I got to go.
She sends like unicorn emojis like in the message. And then by the morning, she's like, I changed my mind. It's nothing that you did. Sorry, bye.
Yeah. So
like, what the fuck happened between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. that changed your mind?
I'm just saying.
Is it just the flirting aspect? They just
and we
want
didn't,
attention?
and we didn't even flirt that much. The texts were all about you. It wasn't really anything about me. It was.
I don't get it.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I don't get it. There's this guy.
Dating
guy,
is a woman's game.
That's
true. It's like a buyer's market. Like if you were buying a house, dating is a woman's game. They have 100%.
We have all the power.
All the power.
All the power. Power of the pussy.
It's ridiculous.
It's great. And if females realized how much power they had,
they realized
pussy, it. They have not. We just watched a show. With A.D. Bryant, which Ron like shouted her out last night. So maybe we get her response. Probably not, because she's pretty famous now. But she's A.D. Bryant from SNL, and she has a new show on Netflix called Shrill. And she goes to a strip club. And she goes there to do a food review on the buffet at a strip club.
Funny.
So she's a writer, and she goes there for that, but she winds up meeting the strippers. And the girl, one of the strippers there was like, she's like, I have big tits and a fat ass, so I get to say what I want. And then A.D. Bryant's just like, oh, she's a chubby character, and she has like low self-esteem. And then she takes that and parlays that into her real life from like the strippers' advice, And she's like, no, like I have the tits and the fat ass. So I get to decide who I get to fuck, who I get to invite into my bed, who I want to spend time with. Like if we just took a little bit of that as females, we would have control of everything.
You do have control of everything.
I don't think we do, but
no, like
that's fine.
Like for the majority of men.
Well, Hillary Clinton didn't get elected.
Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
I just said Hillary Lynn.
I'm slurring because I'm drunk.
Oh,
so
but
I
Hillary Clinton
apologize.
didn't get elected because
She's a
there's
female.
old pieces of shit in this world that vote.
No, but because she was a female. She
yes,
didn't get
I
elected.
understand, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, but it's because the majority of people that vote are old, and even old women vote for men because they've been brainwashed into thinking that women can't win at life.
Are we digressing now?
No, we're not digressing.
Okay.
This is all part of it. But
Alright.
but right now, I just want to point out that in today's day and age, I personally, not all men, but me personally, I am not in the realm of being able to choose what I want to do. And it doesn't matter how I
You're
look.
talking about sex, though.
Yeah. And that's the only reason why we're here.
Yeah.
That's that's
So what?
our
It's just
podcast.
sex.
So what? It's just sex.
Yeah.
So in this whole thing, I have to play the long game. You know what I mean?
You got a little bit. You gotta caress it. You gotta fucking like. You gotta feel it. You have to be like sweet. You have to like have a personality.
But then that turns into the line of like what we've been talking about personally, and that's why we're bringing this up on the show so we can have this conversation on the show. I'm also not trying to get into a relationship.
Right.
So when I woo and I flirt, because I'm a nice guy,
Yeah,
I
you
open
are.
the door,
You
I
are.
like get stuff for people. So then suddenly a girl will be like, oh, this guy would be awesome, but I'm not down for that. So like we're living in an age where sex is so prevalent and everyone's doing it. And that's why Tinder is doing so good. That's why Match.com, OkCupid, all those things out there, they all are so successful is because everybody's looking to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like in this weird mode where the only time I can get girls to fuck me is because they like my personality, but then that leads them to wanting more than just sex, and then I'm an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fuck random dudes, you're just an empowered woman.
Mm-hmm.
When I fuck random girls, I've conned them into sex, and I'm an asshole. so I
Just
don't.
such an asshole.
Yeah, like I don't understand how, because even you're like, be careful right now because this girl sounds.
I
sprung.
told you that. I said, just be careful with
I know.
your approach because you're not trying to woo a person. You're just trying to fuck a person. So you have to tread lightly on the way that you approach the situation. And then Ron thinks I'm just being jealous, and I'm not. I'm just trying to be trying to help
but you're
him be
right.
cautious.
Yeah.
Because I don't want someone coming to my front door being like, your man promised me this or that,
Your
or
man
like,
opened the door
or
for
like
me,
made
which means he loves me.
Yeah, or made me feel some type of way, and it's like, no, bitch, like
It's like-
you know he was married, like he just wants to fuck you, which is fine. There's nothing bad about that. Like, go fuck each other. It's
Right.
okay.
It's one of the hottest experiences we ever had. We were fucking this chick. So let's tell the whole story because it's a great story. So this guy and this girl both live in Walnut Creek. Completely separate. They
Yeah,
do
they
not
were
know
not
each
a
other.
couple.
Not a couple.
Well, I
completely
had been
separate.
talking to her on one app, and then I talked to him on a different app.
Right.
And I was like, you want to come over? And he was like, I want to come over. And then I was like, oh, you both want to come over? Meet us here in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Ron and I are like shaving our private parts.
Oh.
We're like showering. We're like, fuck.
That
We're
was the
fuck,
night.
what
That was the
fuck?
night I cut like the top of my like ball
He's
sack.
bleeding. He cut his balls while he was shaving his
Because I
pubic
was
hair.
shaving and I cut my balls and
He
I'm
was,
like
like,
I'm like
damaged.
bleeding everywhere and I'm like shit. And guys out there, when you nick the skin down there, it's almost like you fucking shot someone in the heart. It bleeds so bad. So I'm like cleaning it. I kept going to the bath, and even when the guy gets there, because the guy got there first,
Yeah, he did.
he was like, "Why do you keep going
Smelled
to the bathroom?"
Cigarettes.
Yeah, he
and
was gross. But
gross.
he's like, "Why are you going to the bathroom so much?" I'm like, "Dude, I nicked my sack." And he's like, "Oh, that's the worst." So even he knows. So I'm sitting there, and finally the blood stops, and this girl shows up. So I go outside to meet her, and she's super sexy, and I'm just like, "Yes, this is awesome." So we come inside, and then everybody's getting, and the guy was such a fucking douchebag.
Our kids were gone.
Yeah,
There was
there's no
nobody home.
children
Yeah, we were
anywhere.
alone.
So this guy's like the biggest piece of shit. He's just talking all this caca. So the girls gave me this like look like, get rid of him.
He's like, can I just get a nut? Can I just get my nut? I was like, you're not getting your nut tonight. You need to really go now.
So I tell him, I was like, dude, I was like, you're going to have to go. I was like, neither one of us are getting any fun tonight. I was like, it's ruined. The girls are just going to play on their own. And then he's like, I'm going to go talk to them. And I was like, well, it's not a good idea, but by all means, go for it. So he goes in the room. He's like, so am I not going to get anything? And the girls are like, no. So he's like, well, fuck this. I'm leaving. So he leaves. So then I'm thinking I'm not going to get anything. But then they both start caressing me and feeling me, and they're both grabbing at me, and one's sucking, the other one's feeling. They're sharing my dick. I'm like, oh, my God, this is like the greatest. This is, and it was right around my birthday.
I don't remember.
It was the weekend of my birthday.
Yeah. It was it was like the best time of your life.
It was like the best birthday present ever. And it was one of the most incredible sexual experiences on the planet. And she was like, and even in that, like I went for like hours. I was like a fuck machine.
Yeah,
it was,
you were.
I was like, if there was an Olympic fucking medal, I would have won it. And I should have one because I did such a great job that night. But even with all that being said and done, she disconnected from us and never wanted to see us again because you wouldn't be her girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was like, you ever had a girlfriend?
That was super weird.
And Janelle's like, no. And she's like, you want one? And Janelle's like, no. And then I'm like, great.
She was like caressing my hair, and she was like, you're so beautiful. The way you kiss me, like, have you been in love with a woman before? And I was like, no. And she's like, okay, but the way you kiss me, it just feels like you're just used to this. And I'm like, I'm just kissing you. Like, I kiss the way I kiss. Like, I'm not kissing you because you're a female versus the way that I kiss a man because he's a man. She was just like mind blown by how I was treating her. And she was like caressing my hair. It's 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, you need to go now.
You did. You made her leave at like 3:45 in the morning to drive back to Walnut Creek.
But it was like we have this app because it's an app because we want to fuck people. It's not because we want to be in a relationship. I'm not on Match.com trying to fuck people on a rant. And I could do that, but that's not what this app is designed for.
But my point being is that here we are in one of the greatest sexual experiences of my life, and it only happened because that person wanted you.
That's not true. I don't think that's true.
No,
she liked your dick.
No, she loved my dick. She kept saying my dick was great.
She was like in love with it.
No, she loved my dick. And which is weird because the reason I brought this up is because when we were with her, you were like controlling the situation a little bit, and you're like, okay, I want you to fuck the shit out of me. And then I did. And then you're like, and I want you to fuck her, but I don't want you to fuck her like you fucked me. And then I fucked her like, you're like, go slower. No, not as much hip. Like, no, like you save that dick for me. Like you can put it in her and she can feel it, but then you're going to come fuck me.
Does this just mean that I'm hella sexy?
It was sexy. It was the sexiest.
I was controlling the whole situation.
It was the most incredible sexual.
I was like, you should try doing this with her. She's really going to like this.
Oh my goodness. Remember?
And she was like,
she was screaming, and then she was like holding you and kissing you, and then she like came while she was kissing her.
And she kept saying like, thank you for sharing this dick with me.
It was so good. So and then there was that sequence where like you were like, okay, I want you to get on top of me, and then he's gonna fuck you while you're laying on top of me. And it was like she was grinding her pussy into you while I was fucking her. And then you're like, all right, I want to see what that feels like. And then we switched. And then you were like, don't you fucking come. You come and me. You come and me. I was like, what? Best day ever.
So if anyone's hiring like a porn star that's 40 years old who is a little chubby and has had 2 kids.
Why do you say that? I'm not even going to get into this conversation. Everyone knows you're sexy as fuck. But it's kind of like one of those things where we had this great night, but then we couldn't continue it, which is fine. We don't need to continue it.
But that's fine. But that we can move that into the other conversation that we wanted to have today, where we had a male, I won't say like time frames or names or anything like that, but we had a guy who, came into our lives through this app, and he was super sweet. Like we connected immediately over texting.
And connected in a way where it was like it was very natural to want to meet him.
So yeah, it was so natural. He was super cute, super sexy, super sweet, like everything that I would want out of a playmate,
a
fuck boy,
a play partner.
It's a fuck boy.
Yeah,
They're called fuck boys.
Okay.
So he's a fuck boy, and it's like we meet him. We have like one of the best nights ever with a man.
Well,
with another man.
First, we go have dinner, and then he picks us up where we're having dinner to take us to our hotel, which we were already at. And then we have a couple drinks because you don't know if he's
we got
cuckoo
to know
for
him.
Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, we had to meet him first. I don't want to be murdered or anything.
Right.
So we met him, and he lived up to everything that I expected him to. And we have a really fun night, and then we continue the conversation. So there's a conversation between the three of us, and then there's a conversation between me and him. So it turns into, hey, like, I want to fuck the two of you again, but I also want to fuck just you.
Right. And that was the beginning of it, which we knew that, well, I knew that was going to be a thing. You were very hesitant. You were like, I'm not ready to fuck people on my own. And I'm like, you should go do that. Because I feel like as fun as it is with the three of us, like it could be fun because you're holding back. You can't deny that there's pieces of you in the beginning. You're not holding back today. Like if we go have sex with people, you're just you. But back then you were holding back.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want you to feel free. I want you to experience it all. So after a few times, we had to have that conversation of, well, what happens now?
Is this your boyfriend?
Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have like?
Because we had been together, and then I had been with him by myself
Separately several times.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, can you have a boyfriend and still be married? And I'm just like, and the whole time, and I think I'm pretty sure I said this to you, but I was just like, that's awesome and terrible for me at the same time. Because it's awesome that you would have someone that you can have sex with regularly, which I also get to be a part of whenever I wanted. But then at the same time, it's like, it's so hard for me to find that. Like, I can't go on those routes. Because there's, like, imagine finding a girl. And I don't know if you possess that thing where you would meet a dude who's like, wants you to be with him and his wife and then also be with just him by himself. Like, you've never been in that situation where it's just you and a couple. But I don't think girls are very into that.
Not where it's super open, where the wife knows about it.
Exactly. So
Usually
it's
like kept secret.
Right. So it's kind of like, so I was just like sitting there and I was just like FOMO basically. Cause I was just like, man, I would love to have this in my existence, but it's not easily attainable because I feel like women aren't necessarily like you. And then, so that kind of leaves me in that situation. So, and then there's a song that's like, hit it one time, I'm a pipe her. Hit it two times, I'm a like her.
Yeah.
If I hit it three times, I'm a wife her. And I was like, okay, like you guys have, we've had sex and you've had sex like 4 or 5 times. Like, we need to have the boyfriend talk. And then we wound up on, you have a boyfriend. That's how it ended.
Yeah.
Right? It ended on you having a boyfriend.
Yeah, but I don't think he thought about it that way.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he enjoyed the regularness of it.
Right.
You enjoyed the regularness of it. And then, and I'm just sitting there looking through my phone and my contacts being like, how am I not anywhere near this? But it's hard for guys, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I think it is. I'm sure there's other women out there like me, but I definitely feel unique in the way that I can detach myself from the situation.
Yeah, like sex doesn't always have to be love.
No.
Like sex doesn't always, and I think for guys, and that's what gets them in a lot of trouble, correct me if I'm wrong, but like guys come across as sex is just sex. And women haven't been really given permission socially to have sex just be sex. Mm-hmm. I feel like with women, there's this like horrible...
We're like designed to make babies.
Yeah, and it's terrible because it's like, if a guy has sex with 15 people, he's just a player. Mm-hmm. And if a girl has sex with 15 people, she's just a slut. Mm-hmm. And that's totally unfair.
Yeah.
No,
it definitely is.
And it creates this like stigma. And we were mentioning earlier your sister, and and I think you and I, before we ever got into this thing, so I think a lot of times we probably have always thought this way, but we used to tell her, like, you can just have sex with a guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to use a dude.
Yep.
Like, if she says how she's felt used so many times, go use somebody. Yeah, go use somebody. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with, unless you're lying to that person and being like, I want to be in a relationship, let's fuck tonight.
Right.
you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, and yeah, if like both parties are on the same page where you're like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, but you're ghosting me after fucking me, then that might be a problem. But if you're both like, let's meet, there's no expectation. If you wind up fucking each other and you both had a good time, but you may not be the person for each other, like in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with that.
No one is bad.
And it's not even like using in a negative connotation. It's like, you just had a good time. Can't you just like leave it at that?
Yeah.
Can't you leave it at that? I had a good time with this person. I fucked this person. I've had experiences like that where you're just like, I know it's not going to go anywhere further than this. I'm having a good time in this moment, like living in the moment. I don't expect anything from you. You're not expecting anything from me. I don't feel used. You don't feel used. Can we just move on from this?
And I've had experiences where I'm like, we're all good that no one's doing anything but living in the moment. Cool. And then when the moment's over, it's like, how can you not want me? I think I told you this. I was like, this person was making these like weird faces when I'm having sex with them. I was like, you're older than I am. Is this your most sexual experience? Do you know what I mean?
You said they said that it was like the best that they've ever had, which is, you're really good
no,
at
but
it.
that's not my responsibility. That's like having a virgin.
That's not your responsibility.
That's like being like, oh, well, I'm a virgin now. I'm gonna think of you for the rest of my life. No, I'm in my 40s. I'm not trying to fuck virgins. Bitch is in her
50s.
It's like, come on.
She's in her 50s.
It's like, come on.
There's probably been other people that have.
It's like
fucking whatever.
It's like and then you and I had a situation where we hooked up with someone who was a lot older than us, and they were like, I've never came so many times, and we're like, you're turning us off instantly.
Oh
like,
my god, I was her queen, and you're my queen, and just dominate me.
Are we assholes?
I feel like we sound like assholes.
We sound like assholes. I think you sound like more of an asshole than me.
I swear this is real. Like, we had a woman who's like in her 60s, this is all Ron's idea, by the way.
Because she was the only person who's responding to me.
She's the only person that's responding to Ron.
And her body wasn't horrible.
Her body wasn't horrible. Yeah. She was a lovely woman, but she was hitting us up after, like, I want to fuck you again. I'm your cum slut. I want to fuck you again. I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't a thing. And
then she's like, "Oh, I squirted so many times, and we hadn't had a squirting experience before, so we're like, okay, I guess she squirted.
She didn't squirt.
Now we know that, but at the time we didn't.
I know,
but it's just.
I hope we don't sound like assholes. I want everyone to like us.
I feel like you sound like an asshole, and I just sound desperate.
No, maybe. Well, maybe.
I'm all like, please let someone fuck me, and you're like, I fuck everyone. No, but. But the thing is what we're basically trying to say is that, like, it's a complicated situation. And we're not swingers. We're not people who go on retreats, and we're just people who, like...
Not to say, I want to say, not to say anything negative about those people who enjoy that. I want it to be like that I'm not in a box. I'm not, I'm not considered a swinger. I don't consider myself a swinger because we don't swing. Like, it's just a matter of if I
living in the moment.
Living in the moment. If I meet someone who I want to have a good time with, I will be able and be free to do that, and so can you.
And if ever someone ever wants to have sex with me, I also will.
My number is 1707.
like I would also go and entertain that, but it's like why? How did we get so far from? Like, Romans did it. That's all they did. They just fucked their neighbors. They fucked everyone. Romans just fucked. Yeah. And it's like nowadays, it's like you get to fuck.
Taboo.
And I have to have a relationship with someone. You know what I mean? Like I have to talk to someone, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait. You know, like suddenly this person sprung on me, and all I was doing was like being like, yeah.
I think from my perspective on your situation, like, you found the wrong people. So that's just my conclusion on
I'm
it all.
batting 100% on the wrong people.
You find the wrong people. You're like going for friends, people that are in close circles. You're choosing the wrong people. I don't know how you can go outside your circle, but
considering that Tinder and all those other dating apps have
you found that one girl on Tinder, and then you didn't go on the date with her because I came back.
Oh my God, you cock blocked me so hard.
Yeah, but then we
Twice.
got back together, and it was like, now you get regular pussy. Like, what are you complaining about?
Oh, I'm not complaining.
Oh,
I'm
thanks.
just stating that I got cock blocked twice because of my love for you. But all I'm saying is it's a weird world that we live in, and as much as rightly so, women feel like they have lost a lot of power or they never had a certain amount of power. I think that this new age sexual revolution is the new power for women, and they should accept. I can't speak from that because I'm not a woman. I'm just a guy. But what do you think? Like, should you just like it's your time, like own it and not feel bad about it?
Absolutely. And I'm a person who has been married for 20 years. And the only thing I can say is the way that I'm feeling right now. I can't speak for other women, but I can say that 100% you should go out and do whatever the fuck you want and not feel bad about it and not apologize for it. If you want to go catch a dick one night, don't feel bad about yourself the next day because you're like, oh, it was a one night stand. Like it doesn't matter. Just
as long as you're honest about it with yourself and with the people. And if you're in a relationship, be honest with your partner and let them know. Say, hey, I'm going to go do this. And if your partner's not into it, then you do your thing. But as long as you tell people.
Yeah. As long as you're honest with yourself and the world.
Yeah.
You're doing your best.
Yeah. And go do God's work and fuck people. So, dude, Jesus.
Dude.
We went on like 3 tangents and then here we are.
I hope we made sense. I don't know if we did.
We were pretty drunk today.
We're drunk, but it's okay.
So we have our website, which is sowhatitsjustsex.com. We have our email address, which is info@sowhatitsjustsex.com. You can find us on Instagram. I'm at Rombello Comedy, and you are... What's your Instagram handle?
I don't even know.
At JBellsNY with a Z.
Yeah, jbellsnyc.com.
No, not .com. Just at JBellsNYC.
I think so, yeah.
Yep, that's your Instagram. So hit us up. Let us know what's going on.
Hit us up.
This week was a weird week because we weren't really going to podcast because you've been so busy, but we decided to bring all the stuff to the hotel room, so here we are. We're going to take and have some amazing sex because you're going to be gone all week, and that's all I can think about. And even though you're not feeling very sexy because of that horrible infliction
PMS
that you have, I'm still going to take it.
I know.
I'm going to take whatever I can get.
It's cool.
I'll take a half-hearted hand job.
I'll give it to you, half-heartedly.
But we're super excited. We're on The Grind, which is the 1440 KVON radio show. We're going to post a link to that at some point, so definitely check that out. Thank you so much for listening. I can't believe how many people have been listening.
Thank you so much.
We love everybody.
Send us your questions and comments and concerns and critiques. We have our email address up and running as of a few days ago, so if you want to ask us anything or just express yourselves in some type of way, I love it and I welcome it.
Yep. And if there's any women out there who want to feel sorry for me and let me, I'm just kidding.
Anyone that wants to fuck Ron, hit us up.
Hit us up. I promise I can bring it. I may not be the most attractive, but I can bring it in the fucking... You're the one that's sitting here saying, oh, I'm just normal Italian. I'm a little chubby. So, like, you could say that, but I can't say unattractive. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Bye.